Yo, what the hell's up? Welcome back to Reviews with Jake, where I just got back from seeing Onward. Onward is a tale that is set in a modern society that is built upon a land of fantasy and mythological creatures, and it features two brothers who go on a voyage to bring their father back to life. I was so torn on the thumbnail for this one whether to go with one of my many swords or the creepy voodoo staff. I ultimately went with the staff because it hasn't been put in front of a camera in a couple years. Some of you might get that reference, most of you will not. Either way, the bottom line is, I have too many geeky things, or really cool things. Nevertheless, I'm really bad at grading kids movies, so I generally just don't go to them because, well, I'm not a kid. I am not the target audience for these movies. Most of the film's purpose generally just goes right past me. It's like being the third wheel of a conversation between two people that have known each other since birth and you just met the two of them. They tell a bunch of inside jokes that only the two of them get and you're just like, ha ha ha, right on. Not saying they aren't funny, you just don't understand them. They just fly right over your head. Yeah, they might toss you a bone being an adult and toss a joke that you'll get but your kid doesn't. And in this analogy, it's like if they talk about, yeah, the weather though, right? Or sports, man. Yeah, that's great and all, but generally, you're just not meant for this. It's just tricky to gauge kids' movies as an adult, so I generally avoid them unless I have some kind of stake in them. Secret Life of Pets? I love dogs. Toy Story? Nostalgia. Onward? Fantasy creatures. I was excited for this one because I actually felt like there was something I could get from it even though it's not made for me. And the pros start there. I loved this concept and I loved this new original world that I'd never seen before. Avoiding details because it's minor spoilers, I loved the premise on how this world came to be. I loved that this world incorporated different mythologies, got some Egyptian, got some Greek, it's got a little bit of everything and I loved every bit of it and seeing how this new modern society kind of incorporates all that. And that's just kind of built throughout the entire film, both through the plot and the humor. It was a fun new world to explore, and that brings me into the animation. The animation was fantastic, as you'd expect from Pixar, who just knocks it out of the park every single time with these movies. Another thing Pixar does well is voice acting and voice casting for these characters. I thought this was a very well voice acted film. It also had a fun brotherly aspect. I have a brother, so that was another thing where I was kind of invested in the storyline. It really hits that brother dynamic really good. And I just enjoyed this movie. It was a fun, light-hearted story. However, I wouldn't say it's the best Pixar movie I've ever seen. I mean, they've had some really good ones, and this one doesn't quite stack up to that for a few reasons. One being the emotional aspect. It never really hits you on that deep, heavy emotional appeal. It kind of starts to tread into that territory at times. It's gonna get there, but then it just kind of jumps out real quick. It gets a little cold feet on it. And sure, part of me is yeah, it's a kid's movie. They're not gonna tackle really heavy subject matter, right? But then I think of Up. I think of Toy Story 3. What the hell was that? There's plenty of kids movies who tackle really heavy stuff and it does it well, and that kind of separates just a kid's movie to something else. That next level stuff, and this movie just doesn't quite get to that top tier. I also personally felt that a lot of the minor characters and subplots were a little bit too distracting from the main story with the brothers. I mean, don't get me wrong, these minor characters were fine. They had a lot of enjoyment in themselves, but generally they were encountering scenarios where the brothers have already been. So instead of diving deeper into this new world that really excited me, it would just kind of retread stuff we've already seen. I was much more enthralled in seeing the brothers encountering new areas, new monsters, new scenarios, etc. All in all though, I think this was a fine kids movie. The kids in my theater seemed to enjoy it. I certainly didn't mind it. I mean, I didn't love it, but it was a good time at the theater. I'm gonna give Onward a B. A lot of B-range movies going on lately, but I'm not gonna complain on that because the way this year started, I'll take B's any day. I wanna actually enjoy myself at the theater. I wouldn't be upset with another A. 1917 is getting a little lonely, but hey, keep it up. Please and thank you. But that's just me. What do you guys think? Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments below. And make sure you subscribe to this channel and stay up to date on new reviews coming real soon. Thanks for checking in.